Hello, I am Jamila McMallow, and I am a mindset coach for women executives and entrepreneurs. And today I'm speaking with you on the topic of if you can't see it, you can't have it. So, ladies, you know that for the most part, we as women are conditioned, and most of us live our lives putting our own needs, wants, and desires, etc., last. And so, one of the challenges around that is we can actually become disconnected from ourselves emotionally, and thus really disconnected from ourselves as far as what we truly desire. Now, why is this even an issue? What's the problem? When we want to do something we've never done before, we immediately begin to look for evidence. And if it's something that we haven't done, then we may believe there's no evidence. So that means I can't do it. Now, we're going to talk about the reasons why we may feel we can't do it. And then what has to take place so that we can begin to embody that vision or what it is that we want to do going forward. So, when we are little girls, yes, all roads lead back to childhood. As you know, that's my thing because I'm all about just dealing with stuff at the root of the problem, not dealing with symptoms and whatnot. Let's just go to the bottom and root it out. As little girls, we receive a lot of conditioning, a lot of messaging, all of it from our parents or step parents or caregivers. And as children, we're wide open and we are just simply receivers of everything that's coming in our direction, the words that are spoken to us, the examples that we see around us, our culture, our environment, our community, all of it simply writes on who we are and gets embedded into our core belief system or our foundational thinking that we use as a guide to govern us through life. It's essentially what we, in our own minds, believe to be true and possible for us. Who we believe we're allowed to be, what we believe we're allowed to do, and what we believe we're allowed to have. It's all in here. It was all written in childhood. And so when we decide that we want to start doing things outside of that construct, that framework of our foundational core beliefs, then we start getting all sorts of negative messages like I'm not good enough, I'm an imposter, I'm a fraud, all these different things, basically telling us to go back to what's familiar, go back to what you've been told you're allowed to be, do, and have, and get out of this unsafe zone of we don't know what's going on. Well, here's what I know. If you're a part of my audience, that means you are a powerful, driven woman. You're a trailblazer. You're already doing things that you've never seen any woman in your family do before. You're already doing things that you were the first, right? The first woman, maybe the first minority woman, two lanes you're covering there. So you've already stepped into uncharted waters, into uncharted territory. So you're already functioning and operating outside of your core belief system. And so you know what it's like to kind of trudge through the mental process of doing things, even though your mind is telling you you're not good enough, you're not allowed to have that, you can't do this or that. Well, when we decide that we are going to become someone different, when we decide that we're actually going to allow ourselves to shift into a new way of being, it is imperative that we shift that core belief system, or we're going to continue to have this tug of war within ourselves. And where this tug of war can get in our way is we end up not being able to literally visualize what we want our life to look like in the future. I know myself personally in working with my coach, and this was probably my struggle of why I felt like I was, kind of stagnant for a while. I couldn't see what I wanted for my business. I couldn't see the vision. I couldn't see it. And I told her that. And she shared with me a story about, visualization that she had done And it's something that I've done before too. It's something that I do and have done in other areas of my life. It's something I've done in my business, and I have, got to certain levels, if that's what you want to call it. But now I'm getting to a point to where I'm like, my toes are on the edge of the precipice. I'm like, whoa, I'm really about to do something big here, like, and I can't see it. And so she encouraged me to do that same exercise, and I did. And for the first time, now at this point in my life, in my business, I was able to see it. And when I tell you the vision is so real, it's like, okay. But what I have done as a prerequisite to that is I've done a tremendous amount of healing, those deeper layers around primarily money, around primarily entrepreneurship, business ownership, being able to be successful in that realm. Okay. So I did that deep personal transformational work, which, by the way, please don't let anybody ever tell you, and please don't ever say, oh yeah, I've healed that. Okay. Oh, okay. Because last time I checked, none of us are perfect. So you just healed it all, huh? No, we're like onions. There is an infinite number of layers to every part of our being. And we will peel back the significant portion or what's relevant right now. Mm-hmm. But then as we grow and we move to the next place that we're going to try to become, that's when the next layer comes up in that same lane that we now have to work through. So we're never healed. Oh, I healed from that. Listen, yes, you may have healed from a specific traumatic incident, but you have not healed all of the beliefs and stories linked to that incident. Only what has come up as needing to be removed, released, etc., at where you are right now. There's no need for anything else to be moved out of place. So it's not just going to come up. When you hit there, you'll know, and it'll be time for that layer to come up. And here's what I'll tell you: the deeper you go, the easier it gets, and it starts to happen a lot quicker, a lot faster. But I only say that to you to say this: I had removed the blocks and the barriers that can hinder us from being able to see our big vision. I just wasn't giving myself permission to see it. And so it wasn't that difficult for me to simply just do the visualization and then make it happen. Now, you might say, well, why you just didn't do that? Why you need her to tell you? Because we all need somebody to tell us what to do. It doesn't matter that I'm an expert and able to do this for my clients. Yes, I am my first and best client and first testimonial, but I am still a human, and I have blind spots, and I have my own resistance. And that's why I pay people to help me continue to improve and get better so I can help my clients and I can help others and show up fully expressed as who I am. So back to the point, which is you want to uncover what are the beliefs and stories that are telling me that I'm not allowed to do what I'm doing, that I'm not allowed to have what I have or what I desire, and that I'm not allowed to be who I really am or who it is I desire to become. Because those are the beliefs. Those are the beliefs that are blocking you, because as long as your programming, your core belief system is telling you, you can't do this, how can you picture it? If it's forbidden, how can you picture it? Or you may picture it, but it's foggy, it's not. So you have to clear up those beliefs first. But even if you haven't fully and completely jumped into that part of things, yes, you can still do your best to try to visualize that future. And I'm going to tell you how. Just think about something that you really want to do, something that seems impossible. Something that is a personal dream of mine is I would love to go to Dubai. And Dubai is doable, yes, may seem, but it's a big deal to me, right? Because I want to take my children and I want to fly, private. I don't want to, do commercial, whatever. That's a long flight. So I have a bigger vision for how I want to have that experience. But I just think, wow, I would really love to go see this place and do it this way, have this type of vacation, go to these places. So, I've been looking online at, like Atlantis, Dubai. I've been looking on VRBO at rental properties, and I've been doing things that are making it real because I'm seeing what's to do. I'm planning the vacation, as it were. But what really allowed it to sink in, and this is what I'm going to encourage you to do, is what you want to do is think about whatever this big thing is, and then you want to close your eyes and imagine you're experiencing it. Imagine you have it. And the key is to make it so real that you can feel it, that you can feel the excitement, that you can feel the happiness. Because I can feel the sand between my toes on the hot beaches of Dubai. So where is it that you want to go, or what is it that you want to do, or what is it, maybe that you want to drive, whatever it is. Because in your business, let's say you have a financial goal that you want to hit. Hey, I want to hit 6 figures. Well, when you throw a number out in the air and you put it up on the wall, that's one thing. But when you link that to something that you want to do with the money, and you experience it in your mind and connect with the emotions, now it becomes real. It's almost like you've already created the memory. It just hasn't happened yet. But now it's going to. It's just like when you buy a red car and then all you can see is red cars. It's the same thing. Once you put the picture in your mind and you become focused on it, then you're going to see ways and opportunities start to open up to you. So to circle back, if you can't see it, you can't have it. And so a lot of times we're in a rut in our business. We're in a rut in our career. We're in a rut in our relationship because we can't see the next thing, what we desire. We have nothing that we're looking towards, a hope, a focus. And if we're not focused on anything, it's like getting in the car and just driving around and you have no destination. Well, you're not going anywhere. And you know how you feel when you're driving around and you're just wasting gas? You don't feel happy or excited. You feel like, you feel annoyed and frustrated because you don't know where you're going. And so you have to get a destination. You have to get clarity around the vision. And the 2 steps are: 1, clear up the beliefs and stories and emotional traumatic wounds that are linked to those beliefs and stories that are telling you you cannot dream beyond this point. And then deliberately and intentionally spend time thinking and visualizing just one aspect of what you would do if you were actually able to achieve that goal that seems so unattainable or so impossible. Make it real in your mind. Because if you see it, then you can have it. But if you can't, it's not going to happen. And that's just the way things work. So that's what I had for you today. I look forward to hearing your comments. If you want to drop your thoughts or comments below. If you watch this live, thank you. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. And then if I know sometimes I talk about things that are on a deeper level. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and feelings in the comments, you're more than welcome to send me a direct message. If you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can message me there. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, because I do put my videos on YouTube as well, same thing. You can message me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can get in touch with me and we can go from there. And if you are interested in learning more about working with me, here's the link to my website there, and you can go there to book a call. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.